What's up, guys? It's your bro. What's up, guys? It's your bro. Rich here again. Today's video is now another extended video of the with the GM LS based small block motor, I think. Tonight I'm still sticking with the Gen 4 motor. So without any further ado, let's just continue on from where we left off. So the first, so there we go. So the first Australian car to be the first Australian car to be fitted. The first Australian car to be fitted with this motor, however, was the CSV GTS. GTS of 2007, which was claimed apparently to have which was apparently claimed to have a power output of 540 horsepower and 443 pound-feet, 600 newton meters of torque. So 600 newton meters of torque. So next is the applications of the cars that had this type of motor. So we got the 06 2013 Chevy Corvette C6 Z06, the 08 onwards, so 2008 Spada. This is a car I never heard of. The Spada Koda Tronca. The 0809 HSV W427, 09 2016 Zenvo ST1, 2016 Ultima GTR, 2013 Corvette, 2013 Corvette, so 2013 Corvette, 2013 Corvette, so 2013 Corvette, so 2013 Corvette 427 convertible. 2013 Mazzanti Avantara Mazzanti Avaranta Mazzanti Avantara Mila Cavalli. The car that was mentioned in the Grand Tour series with Richard Hammond, Jeremy Clarkson, and James May. So 2013 Mazzanti Avantara Mila Cavalli. The 2014-2015 Chevy Camaro Z28, 2015 Exotic Rides W70, which I never heard of a car like this. So apparently the Spada Coda Tronca, or SVS Coda Tronca, was an Italian-built supercar. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I mean, it might, like, I never heard of a car like this before, but it might look pretty cool. Because obviously Italian, can't go wrong with that. So, 2014-2015 Chevy Camaro Z28, 2015 Exotic Rides W70, or known as ER-W70. Say ER-W70. Yep. It's pretty much named as an abbreviation for like a hospital room. It's like a room in a hospital, like the ER, emergency room, technically. So 2013 Exotic Rides W70, 2015 onwards SIN R1 550. Which this car actually looks pretty interesting. And this car was apparently Bulgarian, because it was made by Bulgarian manufacturer SIN or SIN cars. Like, I've never seen a car like this before. I mean, it's pretty interesting to see how this looks like. Not too bad. It had a couple versions of the LS motor, LS3, LS7, and the LS9 motor. Most powerful was the LS9 with 640 horsepower. Wow. Well, 641 horsepower. It's actually a pretty good, actually pretty good looking car. Not too bad. I mean, even though it's a Bulgarian car, still pretty good considering that Bulgaria never really made a car until now. Well, the 2015 onwards, SIN R1 550, which is pretty cool. And then we got the again 2015 onwards Ultima Evolution or Ultima Evo, technically, which had the exact like same LS motors, LS3, 6.2 liter, 7 liter, LS7 V8. The 6.2 made 480 horsepower, 7 liter made 700 horsepower. But the most craziest one is the last one, which is a 6.8 liter supercharged LS V8, which made a monstrous 1020 horsepower and 920 pound-feet, 1250 newton meters of torque. From an LS motor, it's just nuts. So I got 2015 and onwards, Ultima Evo or Evolution, 2020 and onwards, Hennessy Venom F5, which is one of my second dream cars from Hennessy. The first one was the G. Wait, hold on. So it was one of my first dream cars from Hennessy. The second dream Hennessy vehicle was the Venom GT. So the first one, Venom F5. Second one, Venom GT. And this next one's not really car related, but this had like the same. Apparently, this had the V8 motor. I don't know how the hell they managed to pull that off with this, but this one is pretty interesting. And this one is a little bit like kind of a bit confusing for me because like I don't know how the heck they had this with this motor, or even if, well, they apparently did, but I don't know how they managed to do it. It's called the Vertical Hummingbird, which is an American helicopter produced by VAT, Vertical Aviation Technologies of Sanford, of the city of Sanford, of Seminole County, Florida. That was introduced in 1991. The aircraft supplied as a kit for amateur construction. Okay, so apparently there was a helicopter with an LS motor. I am so lost. That really confused me. Like legit. Like what? Yeah, I don't understand. Like a helicopter. Like literally, yeah. I don't understand either. A helicopter with a V8 motor. It is. It is weird. I don't get it. Anyways, let's not get carried away with this. So, excuse me. So the next one we got is the LS427. So this is a little bit more easier to know. So the LS427. So the LS427's a 7-liter V8 based on the LS427's a 7-liter V8 So the LS 427's a 7 liter. The LS 427's a 7 liter V8. So the LS 427's a 7 liter. The LS 427's a 7 liter. The LS 427's a 7 liter V8 based based on the LS7 motor and introduced in June 2020 during COVID, where we all had to like uh, well, not really self isolate, but many people when they have COVID, they had to self isolate pretty much, like social distancing and whatnot, masks, sanitizing, wash hands, all that kind of stuff, all the kind of crap we all had to like go through. Sorry, excuse my language, but it was true. I mean, we all had to go through this very tough and kind of disappointing endeavor during COVID 19, which didn't fare well. To be honest with you, for many people who were facing that time of COVID, will know what I'm talking about. We all had to face that in life, which was no fun at all, but at least we all managed to go through this. For those who struggle with that, I like literally humbly apologize to all those people who did not, who like struggled to manage it. But it was a huge struggle for all of us, and we lost many people around the world. Lost people like around the world. I did back then. Lost my grandpa November 2020. He passed away during COVID. Don't know how, but yeah, that's a moment I would never forget, ever. Like literally, I don't know how the heck it even happened in the first place. But it was back in November 2020 when it happened. But we all had to like suffer this entire um, I wouldn't really call it a trap, but like I would say it's like a kind of hole we all dug ourselves into, and we all had to get all the way back up throughout these past year, like throughout the past year since it started. Uh, until everything just settled down, got back to normal, everything was fine. 2021, 2022, they were just pretty cool years. 2020 legit kicked our asses into high gear of hell. Honestly, like 2020 was not pretty at all. I'll be honest with you. Literally, COVID test, which they sucked. It was just I hated those always. Those COVID-19 tests, they're just terrible. Legit. Like honestly, it's just crazy. It took a toll on all of us around the world with this whole COVID situation, sanitizing, masks, even. It was just yeah, not pretty. Social distancing, even. Not being able to go out anywhere, not being able to fly anywhere, flights canceled, events, all that kind of stuff due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the lockdown. It was not the best moment at all in our lives. So yeah, I'll tell you right now. But we all got there in the end. Everything settled down, and we're all free from that curse anyway. So thank God for that. But yeah, it was tough, but we all made it through. So yeah. But like literally, we would not want to go back to that day at all, like never. So thankfully, that's well over and done with. So we're just forget that even happened or even existed anyway. But oh well. But anyways, so let's move on. So the LS 427. So the LS 427 is a 7 liter V8, 7 liter V8. based on the LS7 and introduced in June, so like middle of 2020. It was designed only as a crate motor to provide both increased power and simplified simplified installation for both simplified installation for both aftermarket and resto mod applications. It didn't appear in any product it didn't appear in any production vehicles apparently. Unlike the LS7, the LS4 unlike the LS7, the LS427 uses a conventional wet sump oiling system with an F-body aluminum oil pan and a wet sump pump, eliminating the need eliminating the need eliminating the need eliminating the need for an eliminating eliminating the need for an external oil tank and plumbing required by the and plumbing required by the LS7's dry sump system. This change makes the motor easier to install easier to install in a wider range easier to install in a wider range of cars, so wider range of vehicles. The LS7's equipped with a unique the LS so the LS427 is equipped with a unique hydraulic roller camshaft. So the LS427 is equipped with a unique with a unique hydraulic roller camshaft featuring 0.591 inches in the intake and point point excuse me 0.590 in exhaust lift and longer duration. 227 degrees for the intake. So 227 degrees for the intake, 242 for exhaust. So 242 for the exhaust, resulting in a power increase to 500 resulting in a power increase to 570 horsepower and 500 and 540 pound and 540 and 540 pound-feet, 732 newton meters of torque. Other changes uh, Gen 5 Camaro Z28, included Gen 5 Camaro Z28, Camaro included Gen 5 Camaro Z28, exhaust manifolds, and a uh, 14-inch manual transmission flywheel from the Z28 platform, replacing the LS7's stock, standard components. It retains key LS7 features such as forged steel crankshaft, titanium conrods or titanium connecting rods, titanium connecting rods, CNC ported aluminum cylinder heads with 70 cc combustion chambers, and a 7,000 RPM redline. The motor is supplied fully assembled with fully assembled with budget parts such as intake manifold, fuel rails, injectors, throttle body, ignition. So intake manifold, fuel rails. So, so deep breath. Breathe out. There we go. So the motor is supplied the motor is supplied fully assembled with excuse me, intake manifold, fuel rails, injectors. So intake manifold, fuel rails, injectors, throttle body, ignition. So intake manifold, fuel rails, and so intake manifold, fuel rails, injectors, throttle body, ignition. Intake manifold, fuel rails, injectors, throttle body, ignition, coil packs, balancer, and water pump. So balancer and water pump. It requires it requires a specific LS 427 slash 570. So it requires a specific LS 427 slash 570 engine controller calibrated for this motor, for this V8 motor. For part number, if you're looking for that kind of type for that kind of part, if you want to find the exact one like that one, then listen to the part number closely so you would recognize this, in case if you forget, or just write it down if you have to, if necessary, just in case. So the part number is one. So the part number. So listen carefully to these 8 digits. So the part number is one. So this part number is one. So I just refresh that. So part number is 1942000. So this 8 digit code number. So 8 digit part number is 1942000. So this was calibrated for this motor. So that's the part number. If you're willing to look for a specific part like that, that's the part, and that's the part number you need. That's the part you got. So it's calibrated for this motor. The LS427s discontinued in January 2022. So it started very early 2022, way before I finished high school for my final year. Well, I didn't finish high school until June that same year, and then a month later, in July 6th, as I still remember that, 2022, we had our high school prom, which is super cool, super fun, super badass. Pretty cool. I miss those old days, but no, well, we all moved on from those for the past, God, 3 years. Wow, time does fly, I'll be honest with you. 3 years. It just feels like yesterday. It just feels like, going back in time. Like, honestly, it was just crazy. Anyway, so the LS, the L, the LS, the LS 420, the LS 427s, the LS 420, the LS 427s, the LS 427 was discontinued in January 2022. So January 2022. January 2022, along with the LS7. Next we got is the 4.06 inch bore blocks. This time from 07 to 2017. Start so this time from 07 so 2007 to 2017. Let's say next up is the next up is the 4.06-inch bore blocks from oh 07, so 2007 to 2017. Alright, so here we go. This family is designed. This family is designed as a replacement. Excuse me. So this family is designed. This family is designed as a replacement for the LS2, but enlarged to better accommodate both VV. but enlarged to better accommodate both VVT and AFM, variable variable valve timing, and active fuel management, while still generating decent performance. This family of motors has mainly seen duty in both performance cars. So this family of V8s has mainly seen duty in perform. So this family of V8s has mainly seen duty in performance cars, so both performance cars and high-end SUVs. Okay, starting off with the first one is the 6.2 liter motors. So the first one is the L92 slash L9H slash L94. So the L92, aka the Vortec 6200, displaces 6.2 liters, so 376 cubic inches, and debuted in the 2007 Cadillac Escalade. It's an all aluminum design, all aluminum design, which while still a push rod motor, boasts VVT. The system adjusts both intake and exhaust timing between two settings. This V8 produces 403 horsepower and 417 417 pound-feet, 565 newton meters of torque in the GMC Yukon Denali slash XL Denali, so the GMC Yukon Denali slash XL XL Denali, XL Denali, GMC GMC Sierra Denali, Hummer H2, and briefly in the Chevy Tahoe LTZ from my mid 2008 to my 2009, and rated at 403 horsepower and 415 pound-feet, 563 newton meters of torque. Starting in 2009, it's also available in both the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra as the L9H, with power ratings still same power, but the torque was a little bit increased by just 2 pound-feet, 2 newton meters. So from 415 to 417 pound-feet, 563 to 565 newton meters of torque. Same power, 403 horsepower. So same power, 403 horsepower. So not much has changed, just the torque readings, and that's just pretty much it. Motors built prior to April 1st, 2006, contained a contained AFM hardware. However, contained AFM hardware. However, the mode wasn't enabled, so it was not activated in the PCM, power control module, I think it was called, something like that. So, contained AFM hardware. However, the mode was not enabled, so it wasn't activated in the PCM, and thus the system wasn't functional. Motors built after Motors built after this date and motors built after this date also lacked any AFM hardware and instead used a valve cover and instead used a valley cover plate similar to the L20 until the debut of the L94 L94 variants mentioned below. The 2009 L the 2009 the 2009 L92s modified with flex fuel capability or FFC, becoming the L9H, but still had no AFM hardware barely. In 2010, a year later, the L9H was further modified with AFM, active fuel management, becoming the L94 in both the Cadillac Escalade and GMC Yukon Denali. For applications of the cars that had this motor were the '07 2013 Cadillac Escalade, had the L92 for my had the L92 for my '07 '08, L9H for my '09, and L94. So the L92 for my OS. So I had the L92 for my '07 '08, L9H. So I had the L92 for my '07 '08, so L92 for my '07 '08, L9H for my '09, and L94 for my 2010 to 2013. Then we got the '08 '09 Chevy Tahoe. So '08 '09 Chevy Tahoe LTZ as RPO code L90 as RPO code L92. They got from both. So we got both the '07 2013 '07 2013 so '07 2013 GMC Yukon Denali and the Yukon XL Denali and the GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. So GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. Then we got the '08 '09 Hummer H2. Then both the '09 to 2013 Chevy Silverado, and GMC Sierra, both 1500s and both has RPO code um L9H. So L9H. Next is the mighty motor that y'all guys are gonna love, and all the girls are gonna love it as well. The mighty LS3 motor. That's right, the LS3. But before I do that, I just gotta take medicine because this cold is legit kicking my ass. Sorry about that, but such a dry throat. I just try to cure it, clear as much as I can. But I'll be back in a bit. Don't worry. I'll still be around. Don't worry, I'll be back. Just gotta take care of this. That medicine was complete crap. For those wondering what medicine I took, I just took Covonia, which I struggle to cope with Covonia medicine all the time. It's worse with the Coca Cola. What? Man. God, it's worse when I drink Coca Cola. My God, Lord. Okay, I'm a bit too cold right now. This is not looking cool for me. I keep getting sick always. I'm trying to cure it, but nothing I do ever happens or works. My God, Lord. Hopefully with the hood up, it's just gonna help a little bit. I don't know why, but let's just find out. Alright, next motor we're doing is the LS3. So I like this one. The LS3, the LS3 is introduced as the LS3 is introduced the LS3 is introduced as the Corvette's new base motor, so new base V8 for the '08 model year. It produces at 5900 RPM, so at 59, nearly close to 6,000 RPM, so 5,900 RPM. It produces 430 horsepower, and at 4600 RPM, 424 pound-feet, 424 pound-feet, 575 newton meters of torque. So it's a 4600 RPM, 424 pound-feet, 575 newton meters of torque, without the optional Corvette exhaust, and is SAE certified. The motor blocks an up. The motor blocks an updated version. So an updated version of the LS2 casting, featuring a larger bore of 4.065 inches, creating a displacement of 376 cubic inches, which is 6.2 liters. Pretty cool. It also features higher flowing cylinder heads sourced from the L92, a more aggressive camshaft with a with a 0.551 inch lift, um, 10.7 to 1 compression ratio, revised valve train with 0.236 inches, with 0.236 inch offset intake rocker arms, high flow intake manifold, and 47 pound 21 kilo per hour fuel injectors from the LS7 motor. Pretty cool. So from the 7-liter LS7 V8 V8, the L76 L90 so the L76 L92 LS3 cylinder heads use both 2.16 2.165 inch intake and 1.59, well, close to 1.6 inch exhaust valves. Improved manufacturing efficiency makes these headers cheaper to produce than the outgoing LS6 headers, significantly undercutting the price of aftermarket headers. The large valves, however, limit maximum RPM 6,000 in the L76 with AFM, so 6,000 in the 6,000 in the L76 with 6,000 in the L76 with AFM and 6,600 in the LS 6,600 in the LS3. So and 6,600 in the LS3 with hollow stem valves. In addition to the above, a dual mode exhaust pack with a bypass on accelerations available. So in addition to the above, a dual mode exhaust pack with a bypass on accelerations available on C6 Corvettes. The dual mode exhaust uses vacuum operate vacuum actuated outlet uses vacuum actuated outlet valves. So vacuum actuated outlet valves which control the motor noise during low load operation, but open for maximum performance. But open for maximum performance during but open for maximum performance during high load operation. The system's similar to the C606, but uses a so uh, the system's similar to the C6 06. So the system similar to the C606, but uses a 2.5 inch diameter exhaust. So but uses a 2.5 but uses a 2.5 inch diameter exhaust. So 2.5 inch diameter exhaust compared uh, to the Z06's 3 inch exhaust. To the Z06's 3 inches to the Z06's 3 inch to the Z06's 3 inch to the Z06's 3 inch exhaust. Power is boosted. Power is boosted to 440 horsepower. Well, it says 436 horsepower, but I just ran up technically to the highest amount. Power is boosted to 436. Well, right up to like 440 horsepower, and around 428, well, 430 pound-feet, 580 newton meters of torque. With this, so 440 horsepower and 430 pound-feet, 580 newton meters of torque. With this option, a similar system is optional on. A similar system is optional. So a similar system was optional on later model Gen 5 Camaros and standard. So a similar system was optional on later model Gen 5 Camaros and standard on the 2016-17 Chevy SS, but no horsepower or torque increases were advertised on those cars. LS3s found in manual equipped C6 in manual C6 Corvette GS models. Also, so in the manual C6 Corvette GS models also received a so in manual C6 Corvette grants in manual C6 Corvette GS models also received a dry sump oiling system similar to the one fitted to LS7 Corvettes. GS stands for Grand Sport. From April 2008, Australian performance car manufacturer HSV adopted the LS3 as its standard V8 throughout the range, replacing the 6-liter LS2. So replacing the 6-liter LS2. The LS3 so replacing the 6-liter LS2. The LS3 received mods for its application. Received mods for its application to to HSV E series models, producing 425 horsepower. Pretty good. The LS3 and the E series 2 GTS released on September 2009. Released on September 2009. I think it was before or after Paul Walker's 36th birthday. May rest in peace. God rest his soul. So released on September 2009, was upgraded to produce 436 horsepower, all HSV my 12.5, excluding both the base Maloo and Club Sport, so excluding the base Maloo and Club Sport variants have been upgraded to produce 440 horsepower. From September 2015, I think before or after Paul Walker's 42nd birthday, may rest in peace, God rest his soul. So it's 2 years after he passed away on November 30th, 2013. From September 2015, Holden introduced the LS3 in all V8 models of both the VF2 VF2 Commodore and WN2 Caprice V or Caprice 5, replacing the 6-liter L77. So applications for this car were so applications for this motor were the 08 2013 Corvette, 2010-15 Camaro S with a manual only, 08 2017 Holden cars, including the 08 2013 um, HSV E Series, 09 Pontiac G8, Pontiac G8 GXP, so G8 GXP, um, 20, 14 17 Chevy SS, 09 09 17 VXR8, where it is, and from both 2015 to 17, both the Holden WN2 Caprice and VF2 Commodore. So WN2 Caprice and VF2 Commodore. 2012 AC 378 AC 378 GT Zagato. So 2012 AC 378 GT Zagato. So 2012 AC 378 GT Zagato. So GT Zagato. 2015 SIN R1 450. 2016 so 2016 Arinera so Arinera Husaria. So 2016 Arinera Husaria, and the 2019 Bolwell Nagari, so Nagari 500. Next is the L99. So next is the L99. The Gen 4. So we have also. It's not much on there. So the L99. So the L99s. So the L99. So the L99s derived from the LS3. LS3 with reduced output but adds AFM, active fuel management, formerly called DOD, displacement on demand, and VVT, variable valve timing, which allows it to run on only 4 cylinders during light load conditions, so it makes it a bit more economical, which is pretty useful. Saves you fuel and money, at least. Well, not sure about the money part, but fuel, definitely. Okay, applications already. 2010-15 Camaro SS with the automatic. Next is the LS9. So the Gen 4 LS9 is a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 based on the LS3. The LS7 block wasn't used because of the higher cylinder pressures created by the supercharger, requiring the thicker cylinder walls of the LS3. It has a bore stroke of 103.25 by 92 millimeters, 4.065 by 3.622 inches. It's equipped with an E10 four-lobe Roots type supercharger. It's equipped with an E10 four-lobe Roots type supercharger and has a compression ratio of 9.1 to 1 at 6500 RPM for power, 3800 for torque. Power output's rated at 640 horsepower and 604 pound-feet, 820 newton meters of torque. And note this: GM previously used the LS9 RPO code on 1969 and later Chevy trucks, both two-wheel and four-wheel drive, including Blazers, Jimmys, and Suburbans. So Blazers, Jimmys, and Suburbans, as well as car carriers. The original LS9 was a 5.7 liter 350 V8, developing 160 horsepower and 245 pound-feet, 332 newton meters of torque. In 2017, HSV used a modified version of the LS9 in their GTS-R W1, the last ever Commodore-based car produced in Australia. Applications were the 0913 Corvette 01, 09 Savage Rivalry, its rival with an E, Road Yacht GTS, 2015 Equus, I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled EQUUS base 770, 2015 onwards SIN R1650, 2016 Icona Volcano Titanium, from the same year the VLF Destino, and the 2017 HSV GTS RW1. I talked about the VLF Force 1, but the Destino, never heard of it, or never heard of this car. Talking about, I might talk about the 2016 VLF Destino one day. I don't know. So after that, we got the 2017 HSV GTS R. And last but certainly not the very least, we got is the LSA. So the supercharged, the supercharged, the supercharged 6.2 liter, the supercharged 6.2, the supercharged 6.2 liter LSAs similar to the LS9 and debuted in the 09 CTSV. The LSA has been SAA's the LSA has been the LSA has been the LSA has been the LSA has been so the LSA has been SAE certified at 6100 RPM for power and 3800 for torque. At 556, well, 560 horsepower and 551 pound feet, 551 pound feet, 747, well, 750 newton meters of torque. So at 3800 RPM, so 6100 RPM for power, 3800 for torque. GM labeled it the most powerful ever offered the most powerful ever offered in Cadillac's in Cadillac's nearly 106 year history. The LSA features a smaller 1.9 liter supercharger rather than the 2.3 liter variant of the LF of the the LSA features a smaller 1.9 liter supercharger rather than the 2.3 liter variant of the LS9. Other differences include a slightly lower 9 to 1, well 9.0 to 1 compression ratio, single unit heat exchanger, and cast iron pistons. A 580 horsepower and 556 pound-feet 754 newton meters of torque version of the LSAs used in the 2012 Camaro ZL1 on May 15th 2013. um 6 months and 15 days before Paul Walker died. May rest in peace, God rest his soul. And I think before or after the new Furious 6 film was released at that time in 2013. So on May 15th, 2013, HSV announced that this version of the LSA HSV announced that this version of the HSV announced that this HSV announced that this version of the HSV announced that this version of the motor HSV announced that this HSV announced that this version of the LSA motor would also be used in the Gen F GTS. So the applications were the 09 2015 Cadillac CTS, Cadillac CTS V, 2012 2015 Chevy Camaro ZL1, 2014 2017 HSV GTS Gen F, and the 2013-2017 Holden VXR8, whatever it was, GTS and GTS-R. Alright, phew, finally that one's done. Okay, so that'll be it. So for my next LS motor video will be about the Gen 5 from 2013 and onwards. So from 2013 and onwards. So 2013 and 2013 and onwards. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Alright. So for my next video will be about the Gen 5 motor from 2013 and onwards. It's like halfway there. So still got more to do, but I'll get it done in no time very soon. Okay, phew, over an hour. So for my next video will be about the Gen 5 motor from 2013 and onwards. Alright. So that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. So comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. and hit all so you alerted So you alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. and I'll and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. I gotta check the time. 11:36, not too bad. Alright, so take care folks. Take care folks. Stay safe. Take care folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye. Say good night folks. So I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Good night.